This tech thing sort of started in Estonia. We had the Tiger Leap program with bringing computers and internet to all. Yeah, to.
How it sounds in Estonian?
Tigrihüpe. We started online elections in 2005 in Estonia.
Okay.
So we have been doing it for 20 years. Well, we like to think of ourselves as the optimizers, the optimizing nation, right? You are doing this process in your company, in your factory, in your country, in your school. We optimize. We cut away things that are not necessary. We make it, cheaper and easier. And so we have lots of startups who have been doing exactly that. Estonian investor came out with a new startup investment fund that invests mainly in Ukraine into this kind of technologies.
Okay.
It's called Dark Star, and the Estonian government put a lot of money in there. So we have like a state-sponsored defense investment fund that we are doing.
Okay, hello and welcome. This is but I was thinking about creating English stream for eternity probably, and in eternity it will be like struggles of the geek or piece of science, because science can be masterpiece or a piece of
a piece of cake.
So whatever the name will be in final episode, I'm very pleased to have as a guest, Henrik. Could you remind me last name? Roonemaa. I'm glad to have here Henrik Roonemaa, our lecturer from Estonia on a matter of podcasts. It was happened that he was kind enough to bring us the workshop of the podcasting. But his background is in information, journalism.
Like tech journalism, let's say. Yes.
Yes, and also his main expertise is startups in Estonia, right?
I've done media projects, podcasts, and web portals, and reporting about startups for. What year is this? 25, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know when the podcast comes out. But it could, let's say 15 years. Okay. I have been since like 2010, something like that. I have been covering also the development of startups in Estonia.
All right. So thank you very much again, and we are happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation. It's my first time on a Georgian podcast.
Could you introduce yourself, just broadly introduce maybe your background to our audience, because for them you are kind of new person. Not nobody, but interesting foreigner who comes and.
Yeah, I studied journalism, and so I have worked as mainly like a news journalist and later the business news journalist in various Estonian big newspapers. But I always had this tech interest, Even when I was a kid, we had a computer when I was very young. Somehow my father managed to get it. I think the year was beginning of 90s, right? And the computers cost probably more than our apartment. But it was at home.
Depend on computer. Actually.
Yeah, it was a 286.
Okay. All right.
And the main problem was at one point MP3 music came out, and the processor
CPU power is not enough.
And 386 already could play MP3, so there was like, But then later I got 486. But anyway, so I was messing around because the computer comes. You're the kid, but I think I was probably maybe 11, 12 years old, and I was the only one in the household who could do anything with it, right? So you start hacking and figuring things out, and mainly because you want to play games, right? And where do you get games? There is no Steam, there is no money even to buy games. So you have this network of people, and these discs are coming to your house and they are not working, and so this sort of became my hobby. The computer things, and then people started asking when something didn't work, then I was fixing and explaining.
Writing your drivers or not?
Not writing.
Okay.
No. I cannot code.
Okay, I see.
Unfortunately, my mind does not think like the computer. I'm very impatient. I make mistakes, and then I get angry that things don't work, and then I leave. So that's my problem.
You should try AI assistant now.
I think so.
Because
yes.
I already gave up on like producing some working LaTeX file for some project, and now in 2 days I finish it, and I could imagine it take easily like 2 or 3 weeks just to make it work.
That's what I hear from the programmers I know. But yeah, so I worked as a journalist, news, doing interviews with even with the Estonian president, like a news journalist.
Okay.
And then at one point, Estonia started. This tech thing sort of started in Estonia. We had the Tiger Leap program with bringing computers and internet to
Tiger Leap.
Yeah. To
how it sounds in Estonian?
Tigrihüpe.
Tigrihüpe. Okay.
So the idea was that we will. All Estonian schools, 100% will be connected to internet. And I think they finished it by year 2000. Okay. So we were probably the first nation in the world to do it. And so schools were computerized. And then we started building the e-government thing that Estonia is kind of famous for. We have elections online, tax returns online, mobile parking came. Then we were the Wi-Fi country with, Western journalists flying into Tallinn and doing news reports about how there is this park in Tallinn and there are these cool young people in their laptops. That was like 2000, maybe 5, 6, something like that. And then startups sort of came with Skype. We can talk about that. And so I was the kind of maybe even one of 2 or 3 people in journalism who could understand that world because of my interest in tech.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was the person who had been trained to write these things down in a sort of simple way, right?
Yeah.
For like the normal person. So I was in the middle there. I could understand what the tech people are doing and saying, and so I could explain that to like the normal reader. And that sort of became my niche. So I started doing that. Then I founded a magazine, like a tech and gadget magazine, which became...
Online or like?
No, at the time it was paper.
Okay.
And that became popular. And then I went...
Could you provide us a cover page and we...
Yeah. Okay. If you remind me, I will send you a PDF of the first... we took... I don't know if this is actually... It might be a little sensitive now because, the year was 2005. And I had been reading British tech magazines, like the gadget magazines.
Translate them?
No, but as like the inspiration of what kind of a magazine I would like to do. And do you know what some of the British tech magazines put on cover?
Advertisements usually?
No. Not a few gadgets, but the main thing...
It's like plus 18 girls?
Was a beautiful girl.
Okay. So you put...
So we had these like models holding like laptops, sometimes even bikini, and back then it was, I don't know, okay, right? And now 20 years later, I don't know. I wouldn't do it again now, right? So, but
maybe not cover, but second page.
They have clothes. It's like it's completely safe, but the world has changed, right?
Yeah.
So we did that, yeah. Then I started doing radio. We did like a tech show in radio, and that became, I think, the number 2 popular show in the whole radio station, which nobody expected. And then I founded my own web portal because everything was moving online. So I did a news portal, and then we sold that, and now I'm here.
And news portal was like text.
Yes,
publications.
Yes, it was like a typical news, but we didn't do like news, like politics.
Okay. Yeah.
We did tech
news,
cars, investing, like personal finance, real estate. This like
weekly magazine or daily?
No. This was like
was daily probably. Yeah.
10, 20 articles a day, just or even more.
And how many was you in team? Were you?
I think in the end it was like 50 people involved. So it was like it became like a proper business, and then it was sold. So now my mission is again to do like smaller, interesting things, which is training, traveling, talking to people, doing conferences, and I do a podcast every week about startups in Estonia.
Okay.
So that's, I don't know, you wanted a short answer, but you got a long one.
No, I do not want a short one. I just want to finalize your portrait with a question of what are your favorite games from the childhood?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me think.
First of all, genres.
Warcraft 3.
Okay.
Then later World of Warcraft. I played that a lot. Some
not 2? Or you are young
2. No, I think 2 was first, but 3 was better.
Okay.
3 came out, and then I remember I played that a lot. All kinds of all kinds of RPGs. Now Oblivion, and all the whole that Skyrim was. Skyrim was already later, but still one of my favorite games ever. So yeah, I played a lot of games. Maybe I should have.
Even nowadays?
I try to actually. Yeah. But the problem is I have a Mac now, a Mac laptop. And there are very few games that
you
work
should
on
buy
Mac.
PC, dedicated PC in a dungeon.
Yeah, I have that. But my child took it. But sometimes I play. But now it's quite time consuming. Like,
yeah, I can imagine.
You have to invest. I wanted to play the new Indiana Jones game and Valheim and all these things, but they take like tens of hours, and now I have to decide where to spend. So I don't know. Maybe when I'm 75, I will play. The new Doom or something.
I have almost the same idea. I had this idea. I'm buying on Steam the games with a huge sale. And I was like, okay, now I need to do something. I cannot justify spending so much time, but maybe I will be old
in the future,
and then I will be like best game. Even this whole war with the Ukrainian-Russia war will bring me the idea. Okay, I'm 42 already. What kind of soldier I might be? Drone operator. Yeah. So I downloaded Drone Simulator and started to train. And
there was a period in this year in May that I had to be in the apartment for like 10 days or 2 weeks. I couldn't really go anywhere. I was so bored. So I discovered this genre of games, which are the simulator games, like work simulator, basically, right? That is
You're going to office.
But there are this real estate simulator where you fix houses. Then I played gas station simulator where you run a gas station, and it's the most boring thing ever, right? Or there's this Euro truck simulator too. It's basically you're doing work. It's extremely boring, but you're just like you're playing that you're doing work, and this is the stupidest genre of games I can imagine. But it's completely brain dead. You do not think. The brain is like completely switched off, and you're driving a truck from like Poland to Munich, and you cannot exceed the speed limit.
I see.
So this is an interesting genre of games. I think it's a cultural phenomenon even. Maybe it tells something about people's needs, that they are willing to sit behind the computer for like 200 hours.
Or maybe do something boring with a safe
I don't know.
Safe escape plan.
Exactly. Simulate working.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a friend of mine, he's like a computer scientist, and he's like really good. But sometimes he sit down and say like, I just want to be somewhere in supermarket cashier or
doing this like switching the brain off.
Just do it from the 8 to 8 or 8 to 6 and don't care when I come home. But now I cannot, he said again.
I understand. I think this is actually, we are overwhelming our brains with information. I think like you, me, and most of the viewers, we are consuming content easily like 12 hours a day. I think it's completely possible. When you include all the phone time, computer time, YouTube time, WhatsApping, maybe Netflix or whatever TV you're watching, podcasting. Like I think it's an unbelievable number of hours every day. And at one point I was looking at the largest web news portal in Estonia, and they publish probably like a few hundred pieces every day. No, it's like big and small and everything. Like it's like a supermarket of news, right? So maybe even more. Maybe it's 400 or 500. I don't know. But if you're scrolling through that, then you make in your brain like a micro decision all the time. Do I click? Do I not click? Do I click? Do I not click? Interesting, not interesting. So you're scrolling, but your brain is actively sorting this information. And this is just the one time you open the portal. But you do it when you're scrolling Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. You're always like sorting these things into 2 piles or maybe more piles. So you're like completely working through all the time. You're working through information. And it must be exhausting for the brain. It has to be.
It is.
Yeah. So I think that's why we want to be cashiers in the supermarkets. Then, please leave me, but leave me alone. But we are doing this to ourselves. It's not.
I also find interesting the woodworking stuff.
Yeah.
With woodworking, my background is science. I'm trying. I'm not a competent carpenter with a big C, but I'm kind of playing with the wood. And what I find exciting, like with the science projects, you usually doing something in the end, you might just prove that it's not working. So you kind of have result without result. But with the woodworking, you polish the surface, you can touch it, you can check it with the fingers. Thing, so satisfying, so relieving. So sometimes for the lift, then I'm panicking and I'm both nothing. One more project, and now then I sand the wood and put the stain on and happy.
I think this is the ancient brain trying to get an escape mechanism. Probably, I think that's what it is.
I was watching the guy, he's an anthropologist, and he said actually Pithecanthropus has less stress level. We can tell it by the teeth somehow. He said more caries, more stress you have. So he said they living more happy life than you in your fancy apartment.
I mean, it's probably true. And this is getting worse because I'm now talking to people who say that the future will be 99% virtual reality, right? So you will spend as much time as you want in a completely simulated world. So I don't know. I find this hard to believe, but everything is possible. And maybe you're, especially in Estonia from November to April, the weather is not that good, right? So maybe I would like to wake up and be on a tropical island. And with technology, it's kind of possible now. It's just not. It's not convenient. You have to put whatever headset on. But in the future, I mean, it's not even distant future. I find it completely possible. And and then you have the opportunity to at least visually and audibly, and maybe with smells, virtually be somewhere else. I think you would take it. I think I would probably take it.
The light goes off. But we are on an independent source of power, so we don't care.
We have electricity.
In the cameras, we are working, so
Okay, shall we continue then?
Yeah, we can.
So where was I? Virtual reality. It's not getting better. Whatever we are complaining about here, what I'm complaining, it's getting worse.
Okay, let me try to now familiarize myself with the Estonian landscape. First of all, I want to ask you a question: how the COVID changed the market of jobs? For example, do you go more nomadic, or maybe more to online? Maybe you are free to go now. During winter time, you can go to some hot summer, African country, and work from there. Is it possible now? Or is it better, or is it changed at all, or does it change at all?
What happened completely overnight. You're also about my age, right? So I'm 45 or 6, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you also remember these. Some companies had these remote meeting rooms with special TVs and special cameras and special microphones on the table. WebEx or whatever they were called. They were super expensive. Everybody hated them. They didn't work, or the quality was not. So remote meetings were not the thing. Everybody tried to make it happen, and then with COVID, it just happened overnight. Literally overnight, people started using Zoom and Teams. I'm sure it's very similar here in Georgia. So things that were not possible for 15, 20, 25 years suddenly became possible just like
and
that.
working.
Yeah, and working. And everybody is now doing remote meetings. This sort of, technical everyday meetings with the people you cooperate, or maybe with other organizations. You don't like take a taxi somewhere and sit in their meeting room. Everything, these kinds of small things will be 99% done remotely in Estonia. I don't know how it's in Georgia.
Well, I think we're trying to go back, but what I remember in Switzerland, they're trying to introduce this one working day from home in a lot of offices.
Yes, that's a different question, right? It's like
and,
if you're
and I wonder, like, does COVID change to accelerate this process or not? Like,
this is a different process. So where you work is, there were some companies who went to 100% remote.
After COVID or just?
After COVID, yeah. But the COVID sort of forced them, and then...
Could you just name some of them? Like,
there was one of the largest telecoms in Estonia, Elisa, for example. They went like almost... some people, of course, had to still turn up. But they went almost 100% remote, and they worked out procedures and, how to keep the team together, how do we do meetings, like and
it's working, it doesn't have the declination in the quality or something.
They are happy with it. And I haven't talked to them for maybe half a year now, but the last time I talked to them, they were still very happy with that.
Okay.
So, but I think this is an exception. Many companies have gone to like a hybrid model, because this is what kind of works best, I think. And I think even like for everybody, you do a few days every week from home, and there is a day or two or something then when you have to go to the office. And Bolt, that's from Estonia, right? So they have the headquarters and the founders, everybody in Estonia, and they decided to go back to office, like a hybrid model, that people have to come to the office at some point. And then there were huge articles written in Estonia that people were complaining that this is draconian. Why are we going back? How can you force us
two times per week? I need to go
like
to
something.
office.
They didn't even go to 100%. They wanted to go to a hybrid, and they did. But there was a lot of complaints from workers. Like, I'm leaving, And then they came out and say, this is the rules. This is how we work. Yeah. If you feel you have to leave, then you have to leave, because we cannot work with people being God knows where, and
what was the main
on Bali, for example.
No, but what was the main drive for this change? Like, so they
to go back?
Start to, for management of the company, like why they do this? Do you know, or are you?
Yes, the reasons are mostly the same as everywhere in the world. Is that they find it difficult to keep the team sort of together mentally on the same page, and to keep everyone motivated. And they found it difficult to start new things. So there's this accidental creativity that happens when you and me go to the coffee machine, and I say, I'm having such a bad day, and you come, why? I have this problem, and you say, hey, I can help you, or but we had this, or let's do this, or this accidental interaction in the office is actually a very good thing. And it's quite difficult to make it happen online, especially if people are not used to it. So for some companies it works, and for some companies it doesn't. We also have startups that were started after COVID or during COVID, and they are 100% remote from the start. They have never ever had this office question at all. So everything they have built up, all the processes, all the culture, everything is totally online. And for them it works perfectly, because they can, there are people working from like 20 different countries, and they can, when you're choosing a new marketing person, the world is open to you. You can pick anyone, right? Yeah. So they are super happy with it. And so I think it's very personal, but many companies are on a hybrid basis, and I think that's what it will be. Okay. Yeah.
All right, and another topic I will. This accident chats actually reminds me of the guy who was he was in one of the podcasts and talking about he's writing the code for smart things, and he said like, I don't like that smart things only reply to your questions. I want them to chat. So he was writing the code where his smart things accidentally, randomly initiate some chat just between themselves, and he's sitting in a remote area. So very charming. But then I realized if I will be during the night, my coffee machine starts chatting with
arguing,
arguing
shouting.
with the oven, or even chatting or whispering. It's even more creepy, you know.
You have any meatballs? I'm hungry.
Do you like our owner? Actually, honestly, yeah.
But I think that's a wonderful idea. If you, with AI, we are beginning to. We can now give a personality to a hammer. You know, we can make a talking hammer, right? Why not?
You can gamify now everything.
Yeah,
it's like in games.
Yeah, or if you, like if you hit the nail too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can measure it maybe with some sensor, then the hammer can go, ouch!
Not that hard. Easy, man.
Easy, man. Easy, man. Yeah. You're breaking me. But I mean, technically,
spreading your negativity.
Yeah. It's
I'm
like,
I'm not one you.
Or maybe the tools can start choosing who they want to work with. It's like, you know what I mean? This opens up all kinds of.
Or they don't work together. Like
I hate this screwdriver.
Please buy new hammer. I don't want. This one ruined my life. Yeah. Okay. Another question probably I need to ask, and no one will forgive me in Georgia if I don't ask this. Like, why do you trust electric elections?
Online elections, you mean?
Yes.
Well, this is we started online elections in 2005 in Estonia.
Okay.
So we have been doing it for 20 years.
And you started like separately from pilot regions?
No,
altogether?
No, just all together. But Estonia is so small, like there are almost like.
But you have
no
Russian
regions.
minority, right?
Yes.
And it's like 20% or something.
I don't know what the latest figures are because it's been changing.
Okay.
And also, I think mentally, after all the different conflicts started, I think many people viewed. I mean, we're now getting away from technology, but just as a remark, I think many people viewed Russian-speaking people as Russian minority in Estonia. But during the last years, we have sort of discovered that there are Russians, there are Ukrainians, there are Georgians, there are Armenians, there are all kinds of nationalities who we, in our heads, used to label as the Russian-speaking minority.
So it's more like Soviet people.
Yeah, kind of, right? And now it's very different, right? So now what the actual Russian minorities, I don't have the numbers.
I see.
But the situation has changed. But now we back to the question: why do we trust it? Many people don't. It's actually a very hotly debated thing also in politics. There are parties who think that we should stop this. There are parties who think that this is the best thing ever.
Do you have some accidents related to this?
No, but it's just in theory.
Okay.
But the interesting situation is that during these 20 years, the process of online elections has been tested and studied until death, basically. Like so much between by everyone, by the Estonian political parties, by experts they have hired, by experts from Estonia, by experts from lots of countries from outside Estonia. There are scientific works being written. Scientists are arguing, is this safe?
You're doing yourself, right? I mean, Estonian company kind of supervises software and hardware.
Yes. The software is developed by an Estonian company. Yeah. So I think it's interesting. Probably the online election process has been tested much more thoroughly than the normal election process, because everybody has been for 20 years. Everybody has been trying to break it and find holes and find problems. And
government are super friendly to those people.
Yeah, I mean, because already
it's like open source or open or secure software. How it works?
It's open sourced. I think almost all of it, but as far as I know, I think like some core part is not open sourced, but basically the software is open source.
Like probably cryptic
yeah,
keys.
I mean, you will not get the keys. Yes, But only now, this spring, I think in May or in June, OECD had another report about the Estonian elections. And mainly they find potential problems not in the tech, but in the processes and in the laws and in the rules that are governing this, and how this is being managed and how this can be audited. Is there an audit trail and so on? But I think the main problem is that when you vote normally, you write the number on the paper, you put the paper in the box, later the box is opened, it's counted by hand, right? Yeah. And put into piles. So you as a voter, as a regular normal person, you can understand what's going on. Right? So paper in box, we take paper output, bigger pile, more votes. I can see it with my own eyes. It's understandable for everybody. Whereas counting the electronic votes is like, some engineer comes, types something in the computer, there are screens, numbers start going, right? And in the end, the computer says 50. So for a normal person, the process is very difficult to understand.
And trust,
because if you don't understand it, you have to trust the people who are doing it, but it's just people. So it's always better to see these things with your own eye, bigger pile, more votes.
So you're voting from home?
From a hotel, wherever you want, whatever country.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, here they try to introduce this hybrid system. Then you go to some place, you vote you vote on paper, but it's scanned simultaneously, and you have a paper and scanned version of your vote. Or you might, I think it will work like either way. Like you can type like something like ATM machine, type your vote, it's printed, you put it in box and go.
But you know what? I haven't voted on like the old way in Estonia for 20 years, so I don't know. I don't know if we still put papers in the box or if we have these kinds of machine also. But I don't think
you have choice.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't. I have only voted online. Okay. So I don't know. But it has not. There have been studies done. It has not brought dramatically more voters, because the logical thing you would say is that if we make it so much easier for people to vote, we will get a higher turnout, which has really not been the case in Estonia. So that's interesting.
Either you are like already politically active to the limits, or like
so I mean the turnout is not terrible, but it's like a normal European turnout, and in some other European countries during elections, that when they don't do online voting, it can be even higher than in Estonia. So it hasn't changed that, and there have been even studies done. Is that does it change the political outcome of the election? I mean, you might say that younger people are more willing to vote online, therefore they are maybe voting more. And there have been studies done which say that it's not really the case. So, but I think about, I should have prepared, but I think about half of the people vote online. So like half of the voters, not half of the population, but half of the people who vote do it online, and the other half does it
offline.
Okay,
very nice. All right, now I want to ask a question about startups landscape in Estonia. So here, for example, we have problem. Like I'm sharing as well. So here we have this problem. Like so, most of the startups or projects we have it's called JITA, the technology. Some institution which need to stimulate the technological advance and some innovative projects. Most of the projects are software. And I can easily understand it because the engineering school is kind of low here. We do not have big industries left from the Soviet Union. Even what we have, we kind of gradually decay and rot, and now it's almost dead. And because of that, they, for example, first year they introduced the program, they can't even spend all the money they have because there was no decent project you can, without shame, you can for financial support. So most of them is like design, app development and stuff. So how are things in Estonia in this regard?
The main sort of startup success in Estonia has often come from B2B software as a service type startups. So which is basically, we like to think of ourselves as the optimizers, the optimizing nation, right? We go somewhere and see, you are doing this process in your company, in your factory, in your country, in your school. This is a stupid process. It takes way too, it's slow, it's cumbersome, it's old-fashioned. We optimize. We cut away things that are not necessary. We make it, cheaper and easier. And so we have lots of startups who have been doing exactly that. Pipe drive for sales, and there are, all kinds of things. So this has been like one of the successes in Estonia.
I see.
Also, on the other hand, we have managed to do a few consumer startups that are really big. Skype is a different case. Skype belongs to like 4 countries at least. Like we think it's Estonian, and the Danes think it's kind of Danish, and the Swedes think, because there were founders from different countries, and it was headquartered in the end, I think, in Luxembourg. It was done in Estonia. Well, anyway. But we have Bolt, which is a big consumer startup. Yeah. We have Wise, previously TransferWise.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm using it.
Also a big consumer startup.
Yeah. Well, they are still application-based, right?
Yes, but they are not
Wise,
business to business. But it's software, and it's always been.
But Bolt is okay. Bolt needs to manage the people.
Yes, but Bolt is, it's mostly software. They don't own the cars. They do own the scooters. I don't know if you have the electric scooters here, right? So they do own those, but I think they probably don't like to own those anyway. So they are also software. And we have Verif, which is online verification. That's software. That's one of the big ones. We have some in the iGaming, sort of casino gaming industry. These are all software. But the reason is that Estonia is, physically quite far from big markets and also big suppliers. Like if we want to do a big hardware startup, then the stuff would have to be shipped probably from China or wherever, the supply comes from, shipped to Estonia.
Or from Germany, maybe,
or
because
from
they already have that.
Exactly. And then shipped out to wherever the markets are. You can have factories, of course, somewhere else. You can maybe do product development and stuff in Estonia. But also the local investors do not like hardware startups traditionally because they are so expensive to scale.
I see.
And slow. And if you have a problem with software, you can fix it by tomorrow morning. And push out
depends on the problem.
Depends on the problem, but at least in theory. Yeah. You screwed up something, you send out the fix, it will be done. If you have a problem with hardware, we have an electric bike company called Ampler. Electric bicycles.
Bike.
And it's called Ampler, and I think they almost went bankrupt, or they had huge problems because of a bad engineering batch, basically. They had hardware problems, they produced the bikes, and then things started to go wrong. They had to take them back, fix them. That took time, that took money. People were unhappy. So Estonian investors and also founders have not liked hardware startups. We are now beginning to have some. There is Starship, which is not doing starships, but it's doing little robots that deliver stuff to your house. Like
by drone or by land?
No, it has wheels. It's like a box. I think it's about maybe the size of this table here.
So vehicles.
Yeah, it's
not a flying drones.
Yeah, no, but they do it like completely autonomously.
I see.
And
you can see them on the roads or not
Yeah,
yet?
you can see them in Tallinn, also in Helsinki, in Finland.
And are they using sidewalk roads or like
sidewalk? They are. Okay. Yeah, they are. The design is super cute. If you can put up an image, they you go when you meet it on the street. You want to pat it like the dog. It's like
does it respond to it? Oh yeah.
I don't think so, but they are super nice. They are super polite.
You can donate me tip.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's done by an ex Skype founder, but he has been doing it for a long time. Like this is a super difficult process.
Yeah, I know.
And I think he's maybe beginning to find commercial success, getting the price down, getting the autonomy to where it has to be. So that's one of the startup things, the hardware things. Yeah. Then now we have a bunch of drone companies popping up, mainly connected to the Ukrainian, to the war in Ukraine. So
they are almost military, or they are fully military.
I mean, they say, what's the modern term? Dual use or something like that. But it's no. In fact, it's
dual use. You can put a gun or photo camera.
It's kind of yeah. So they are mostly military.
I see.
And the reason is like business-wise, it's interesting, but human-wise, it's very tragic that we are quite close to the war. And it makes it easy for these companies to develop and test products. So you do an update to the drone.
You have polygon.
And you have not even a polygon, you have a live situation. So you do an update to your drone, and in a few days, it will be tested in a real live situation. So for hardware development, like business-wise...
field testing. Field testing.
Yeah. So they just send them to Ukraine or even maybe assemble them there. And they have very close cooperation with some drone operators in Ukraine.
Are we allowed to say the name of the companies? Or?
I mean, there is like Triod is one of them, and Kratworks is one of them, and so there are more. And just I think yesterday or today, an Estonian investor came out with a new startup investment fund that invests mainly in Ukraine into this kind of technologies. It's called Dark Star, and the Estonian government put a lot of money in there. So we have like a state-sponsored defense investment fund that we are doing, and they are one of the main investors there.
When you say like a lot of money, like what is the scale? Like,
well, as far as I know, Dark Star invests into early stage companies, and their fund size was 25 million euros. And they are planning. It's not like 500, but they are planning to do 1 million per company.
I see.
So they.
And what is the main goal of it? Like just some vision technologies or some side wall technologies?
As far as I understand, it's really anything. I mean, if it's
military drone related.
It can be flying, shooting. Maybe optical components, maybe software that operates the drones, machine vision, machine learning, aiming technology. So all of these are being tested. And one of the startups we have, Frankenberg, they hired high up ex-military people from Estonia. Like basically the most important military people in Estonia, just hired to go to work there. And they are developing affordable rockets that are capable of intercepting drones or other rockets.
Okay.
So instead of spending, air defense, but like cheap, fast, and do
they have successful trials or something?
I mean, they have trials. They are quite new. But, so I don't know if
the name of them?
Frankenberg.
Yeah.
So that's what they are trying to do. So everybody is sort of trying to move into that defense sector, also in Estonian startups. And many investment funds previously were not allowed to invest into dual military, use, which basically means military. But now they have changed. And they are allowed to invest, like regular investors, pension fund money into dual use. Many of them are doing it. But the problem with defense is that there is a lot of money in that sector globally right now. This is being talked about. People want to invest, a lot of development, but it's very unclear how the sales and exit sides will play out, because militaries are.
You can sell it just,
The main buyer will be military, at least for now. And militaries are not known for quick decisions and flexibility.
But do you have like laws regulated as well, or not yet? Or like
I don't even know, but the Estonian startups are constantly. We have Milrem, which is I think they were bought by an Arabian company, if I remember correctly. They are developing autonomous little like armored vehicles that go on the ground. But so these Estonian startup companies have they are trying to tell the government or to tell the Estonian military that you should help us out, essentially purchasing small batches of what we are doing, testing, seeing what works, like be more flexible, decide faster.
Yeah.
But
sell them probably.
Yeah, the army is like, and I kind of understand, like from the army point of view, at the end of the day, if you have 30 different drones from 15 different manufacturers, different generations, different spare parts, different bugs or problems or operation, you would much rather have 1 million of one kind, right? You're educating soldiers.
Easier to manage.
Everything becomes easier. So this is the tension point.
Actually, that's what they try to do in Russia. This kind of approach, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it will. And also
they try to monopolize small manufacturing.
Yeah.
And people there complains that this is killing the process because it's so slow. We cannot react. If some defects, it's like hugely spread through the whole. How to say, tirage, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at the end of the day, at some point, it's probable that these things will be standardized, right? So you can have standardized parts from which you build different.
I think they are mostly have some blocks, like some parts.
Yes,
at least motors,
that is one way that things could be going, and that would kind of make sense, right? So I don't know. And also the software is easier to standardize or to install on different drones, especially if it's machine vision.
And now I can see why the military don't want to escape, because if you're selling it to whoever wants it,
yes,
potentially your enemy could take it, tear down the firmware, tear down the software, and find out the vulnerabilities.
Yes.
And stuff. So this is like, I can understand both sides, but you need to find some sweet spot or whatever.
Yeah. So a defense startup is a very difficult thing to do, especially.
But now you have enough market probably because of Ukrainians, because it's considered like such.
Yes, but also the competition is actually very big, because I think the number of drone companies in Ukraine is in the hundreds, and they are extremely difficult. From very small to very big, to a guy in a garage to a factory somewhere. So the competition is big, and everybody is complaining, at least in Estonia, in the defense sector, that sales lead times are horrible. It takes at least a year, probably many years, to get the contract and to sell your product, which is not the case with a software product that's meant for companies or people, right? You do like a Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn marketing campaign, and you already have paying subscribers. And you can grow and reiterate and do all of the things.
Safety degradation, because software might
all kinds
kill
of things.
And rarely.
And if you and me try to do like a funny whatever AI app, then we have so many consumers in the world. We can sell to 6 billion people. If we do a drone with a rocket, I don't know how many people we can sell this to. Not 6 billion. I hope that there is no need for 6 billion people to buy the individual rocket. No, but the startup sector is in Estonia is in a bit of an existential struggle also right now.
Because of what?
There are a couple of reasons, and number one is still COVID, because during COVID times the economy went crazy everywhere. So that happened. What happened was that the startup valuations skyrocketed. So you basically had a PowerPoint slide and an idea, and you were already worth God knows how much. That has changed now, and also.
So a lot of bubbles fueled by COVID, you say, and
also interest rates have gone up, which means that investors and startups are risky. So investors can get return in less risky areas, and so they expect more return from startups because that's risky, and so they are not as willing to put money into startups. That's one of and that's like a global problem. It has different stages, but and in the end, there are very few exits, and this is not only an Estonian problem. This is actually a problem in the US. There are not enough exits.
Exits, you mean like successful products?
Successful sales, like IPOs, going to stock market, or just selling to someone. And that means, we have a Bolt. We have been hearing that Bolt wants to do an IPO, they have been wanting to do that or planning to do that for years, and they have always postponed that. We have.
What was the reasons? Usually,
because the stock market is not in a good place right now. They are waiting, and they don't need. They have investors' money. They don't need to exit right now. They have time. So many investment funds try to, they are like maximum 10 years. The horizon they invest in is they want to get out, maybe even less, maybe let's say 7, 8, something like that. So, but if there are no exits, you can't get out, and the investors cannot get their money back, and therefore they cannot invest into new startups because they are still waiting for their old investments to come home. And also, talent, people working in these big startups are still working there, right? They have their, they're waiting for their shares, they're waiting for their money to come, they are essentially waiting to be free or free to try other things. But if there are no exits, all that talent, like hundreds, thousands of people, they are doing cool things, right? They are working in big, unicorn startups, but they are not free to go and do a new startup. At least many of them are not. So this is like a bunch of problems.
Might be also that you already, scratch all the surface easy ideas and now kind of hit the wall of ideas and now not so easy to grasp. And
yes, but this is.
But you don't think it's the case?
It is the case in a very specific way. Is that everybody wants to invest into what? Into AI, and that came very quickly. So if you started
shift interest into
so like almost overnight, if you started like a normal startup 2021, 2022, like doing like a normal useful thing, and you're still doing it, but investors are not interested in that because look, here is AI. Everybody is rushing, running to that AI thing. So now you have to find a way to include AI somehow, right, in the thing you're doing. So everybody is running towards the AI thing, and so-called old startups that are a few years old, they are being left behind. So the world has changed. There is tremendous interest in AI, and we haven't really done that many AI. We don't have experience and talent. We have Pactum, which is doing. I think they all started in like 2015 or 20, a long time ago. And they are doing automated business negotiations or purchasing negotiations. and they have customers like Walmart and other big companies. And they just got a huge investment from an American fund. But they started doing this AI thing before anybody knew.
Before AI was cool.
Yeah, and before anybody knew what AI was.
But the bottleneck was good AI or what?
Yeah, they...
now they use like outsource model or what?
I don't even know technically. They were developing their own things. They are probably now including LLMs. Most likely it's a mix. But the point is that they were doing it already 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so there is talent and there is understanding in that company, but they are far from an exit still. And the other companies don't really have like AI experience, like AI ready talent, but new projects are popping up. So I think we are sort of like in a bit of a low point right now.
Which has potential to grow.
Which has potential to grow because we are waiting for the talent to be free from big startups.
Old obligations and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then the talent will no doubt move into like
maybe some mid-age crisis of the talented guy who needs to prove to the world that he's the best.
But they are, they are engineers and they are ambitious and they want to like play with cool stuff and build cool stuff. So when we give them the opportunity to do it, I'm 100% sure that that they will, because that's what people want to do. They want to build something cool.
Okay. How many languages do you speak?
Not Georgian.
Okay.
Estonian, as you probably can guess. English, as you hear. Finnish.
Okay.
Because it's close to Estonia.
And it sounds.
It's kind of similar, yes, but you still have to learn it. It's not like
Okay.
You can just understand. I speak, what else? A bit of Russian because I have to study at school. I haven't talked in Russian for ages. And now I speak Spanish because I was living in Spain for a while and I was learning Spanish. And then I discovered that the Russian language files in my brain have been overwritten by Spanish language files. So whenever I open my mouth to say something in Russian, only Spanish words come out, and this is such a weird feeling. It's like the directory has been replaced.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I have, but I know that it was because it was my first, not second experience, but first one with a fancy place, and it was like 5-star hotels, and I was in Mexico, and for I don't know, like 10 years, every time I want to say thank you, I say muchas gracias, and it was like I'm not speaking even Spanish. Like, it was there's just bind in my mind. If you are excited and want to say thank you, muchas gracias.
I was in Estonia on the street, and a person came to me and said, wanted to ask where the bus station was, and I knew exactly where it was. It was like 3 minutes away, in Russian, right? She was Russian. So, and this is super simple. I can explain that in Russian. So I opened my mouth. This is Spanish. She was like, she was looking at me. What are you doing? And then I was,
then you can force yourself to
No,
Russian?
I can't. It's like, no. It's I mean, it takes maybe a few hours, a few days. I don't know. So the connections in the brain have to come back. But yeah, now it's like it's only Spanish comes out.
But okay, Estonian, Finnish, English, Spanish, and passive Russian.
A bit Russian, so and very little German.
Okay.
Because I studied that at school also.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I don't know if there's any other languages that. No, probably not. That covers like a lot.
Body language, music language doesn't count.
No.
Language of media.
Dancing language is not my strength.
I want to change now the conversation. So I was sitting in a taxi today, and it was conversation with friends. What I'm afraid of, somehow about AIs, and then I realized the most thing I started to afraid, and which for me is realistic bad thing which might happen in future, it's now AI has a safe rail or whatever, right? For most of people. But for example, DeepSeek might be installed locally and turn off the switches and start be using in very inappropriate way. And I was thinking about this, some rich people or rich guy, even like maybe some governments which is not don't want to play fair, started to install AI models locally, switch off every moral or whatever limits it has, and started to use it against ordinary people, and we have zero armor against this because it's AI. It can super quickly develop the algorithm who can suppress all your behavior, even like this political activity and stuff. And so for me, I realized that this should be number one priority for the self-defense now, to have this free AI without guide rails for yourself, to defend yourself against someone who won't do it. I think it's even more important than having gun. In US, they're crazy about having guns, but now AI might suppress you without.
But maybe it's like an antivirus that's running on your computer. So that will be something similar in an AI form, to protect. Like your AI who protects you against other.
But it might be decisions of the government which say, like who place, for example, some taxations, or who, I don't know, create a couple of events to distract you from the main goal and then achieve something they want. And you have nothing to counter that, So that's what I was really starting to afraid of. And I want to ask you, what is your fear of the future, or near future? Or
I mean, I've had this question a lot. In some ways, my fear is that we the people, or we the society, we the businesses, will not adopt AI quickly enough. So I see I agree with what you're saying, But it's looking to me that AI, LLMs is one of these technologies that will take the world like a wildfire, basically. There is I don't see any other way, because
too effective.
It's too effective, and it's so simple to use.
Yeah.
Anyone, even a 3-year-old child, in theory, can use that. Even an 80-year-old grandmother can use it. It's the simplest thing ever. And you know this
user-friendly stuff. Yes, too much.
You know this joke that the problem with computers is that they never do what you want them to do, but they always do what you tell them to do.
Yes.
Right? And now AI is kind of solving that. You can tell the computer what you want it to do, and at least now I see big potential that the computer will do it, right? Because it sort of understands the way humans express their thoughts. As humans, we have so far had to learn how to speak computer language. It's coding or even using Photoshop. We are learning how to explain to the computer what I want to do. I do not want to draw a mask on my picture or to be able to remove the back. I don't want that. I want the background to go away.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and this is a big difference.
Yes.
Or I don't want to add numbers.
Cook, I won't eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Directly.
Yeah. And I don't want to add numbers in a spreadsheet or build formulas. I want to know what's selling in my shop and what's not selling and maybe why, right? So the computers are sort of in between what we want. And and we have had to learn how to explain our wishes to them. And now there is the possibility that this box will sort of be eliminated. Yeah. And we need to, on one hand, I think we need to adopt this extremely quickly with all the potential dangers that
Why we need to adopt it quickly?
Because this is competitive edge. We will just
lose. Yeah. Whoever do not adopt it will lose.
We will lose.
Okay.
By
we you mean like
the society, the businesses, our
Estonian government,
or even the government. Our products, our services, efficiency, the quality of what we are doing, like everything will be. If other people, and also this technology is available
for everyone,
globally.
Yes.
From the poorest to the richest, basically.
For a good and bad.
Yeah. And it's almost never been the case. Think back to computer revolution or internet revolution or smartphone revolution. There was a hurdle. You had to buy something. You had to have at least a few $100s, probably a few $1,000s to be able to be part of that revolution. Now it's like zero. You have to have a smartphone, which everybody in the world almost does. And that's all. You don't need anything else, basically. You need a smartphone and an internet connection. And we have, 6 billion people who are able to compete. And the AI, it speaks your language. It understands what you're saying. It enables you to compete. It explains to a Hindu kid what the Georgian wants, if necessary. So we need to do it. There's I don't see any other way. It comes with downsides and dangers, but we are not in a position to say, we will not be part of this, because then we will be like a museum. So on some level, I think this is a very dangerous thing if we doubt and think, because I don't think this is the time to think, because what's happening is that people are inventing ways of how to use this technology for whatever. And as they are inventing it, they are making new tools, they're making new products, they're making new processes, they are gaining new knowledge. They are also learning what works and what doesn't. They are also learning how to avoid the problems that this technology brings. They are building up this know-how. And we are not doing it. We are sitting here and saying, it's still, I feel it's dangerous. Then in 5 years, 3 years, in 10 years, we will be paying to these people who have figured this out to buy this software from them.
This is not you are cautious. This is like you are halt in a fear and don't move.
Yeah.
And the predator just come and, okay, I'll not eat you. Or maybe I will It's not up to you anymore.
I think this is just AI realpolitik.
Okay,
I view it like this. That this is. It's not maybe It's not a totally safe situation, but I don't think, if a tsunami is coming, you run. You do not sit on the beach and say, is it, maybe there are snakes there in the forest. No, you have to run.
No, that was actually my fear, that I need AI without safeguard for the ordinary people, or at least with some licensing.
Yes, and this is the other part.
I can buy a gun, I need to go to some department and say, okay, I'm mentally healthy, I don't want to commit crime, maybe you go for psychological testing.
Give me an AI.
And then AI who answer my honest question with honest answer.
But this is the other thing that I think is most probably coming, is that it's turned out that this technology is not that difficult, right? It's not rocket science, or it's not. I mean, it's not trivial.
Yeah.
But
it's
lots of people.
It's money
it's a bit
consuming.
expensive. Yes, but in theory, lots of people in the world understand how to do this, because you remember when it came out, there was a moment where we were thinking, OpenAI can do it. Maybe Google will learn how to do it.
But they are not so successful, And now
and now it's like. All kinds of people are putting out models and training models. So this technology itself will be very widespread. And therefore, we are already having open source models. Yeah. We are already having, specialty models doing this, doing that, being, politically here or there, And I think it's a question of time where it will be totally freely available. Hopefully it will be optimized. Maybe on my phone or on my watch or on my smart ring, maybe it can run there, different kinds of models. Maybe I can build or download or buy a model with guardrails, without guardrails, pink or blue or black or whatever. And I think this will be much more widespread. I think this is kind of maybe like the 1940s, 1950s computer time where, some people were saying that in the future they will be everywhere, and they are.
But not in a way that people imagine.
Yes. Yeah. So I think there is big potential that in the future it can be everywhere.
Okay.
And very different ones. So I don't know how this will play out, because the question you proposed is real. It can be used against. It can be used in bad ways against everyone. How do we protect? Usually so far in history, we have managed to find ways to protect us against technology also. It's not one-sided, right? There are guns, there are shields, there are thieves, there are locks. It always there are viruses, there are antiviruses, there is spam, there is anti-spam. So these things usually come in pairs. Mm-hmm. So there will be there will be a solution to that on some level.
The problem is now you can, AI is like soldier assistant.
Yes.
And you need a soldier assistant
as
well.
Exactly. Yeah.
You could build them, potentially you can build the army of the robots in the recent future.
But not only on that level. I mean, let's just take an everyday level. Let's say that marketing people are using AI to write social media posts.
Or targeted me, and I'm using AI to filter the marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Because if they are mass producing AI content, then it makes sense that I do not read through that thing myself. Yeah. I want to have an AI.
No,
that's on my side, right? And I will have that. I'm 100% sure that I will have my AI who's taking
your own Jarvis,
who's taking care of me somehow. So I think this will be maybe very similar to an antivirus logic.
Now I understand what you mean by antivirus.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like I have something running on my devices that's on my side.
That warns you that, you are now probably attacked by the foreign AI.
Yeah. Or just, turning down things that I don't want to, filtering and just looking after me. I think this is 100% sure. I don't know where it will come from. Maybe it will come from an open source model. Maybe I can rent it from Google, or buy it like I buy Gmail. That's probably makes more sense. Maybe it comes in the new iPhone, some year, or new Android phone. probably it will be part of your computing experience. Maybe it comes from your telecom operator, for $5 a month. I don't know, but I'm 100% sure that there will be AI products that look after you.
Okay, very nice. I hope so.
That's hopeful. I mean, but this is the only way we can go forward. Like, if we didn't believe that, we might as well, just die or move to an island somewhere.
Begin the Butlerian jihad,
in
Dune.
Exactly.
No machine.
Yes. So I think we need to believe that.
Yeah. Okay. Are you familiar with the Expanse series, like books or either or the?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's in a recent future. People flying across the solar system with ships and spaceships. And the thing is, I think in a TV series they do not adopt it, but in the book they always hunger for some firmware update for the railgun algorithms in order to fight efficiently against updated algorithms of the opponent ship. So it was very realistic by that time, and now it became even more and more obvious that will be the case. The firmware matters.
But think, we have these interesting building blocks. We think that we can put together robots, robotics, AI, and crypto. Because crypto is money for computers.
Okay.
So what can we imagine happening if we put these things together? And we can build machines that can see and hear, that can move autonomously. There are some in this lab.
Okay.
Then we can...
Not quite this autonomous, but yeah.
But I mean, yes.
They are supervised.
Yeah.
No need to scare.
No, but we
be scared.
We have the components. Okay. We know how to do it.
Yes.
We have machine vision.
Yes.
We have AI that can recognize people and objects and can make sense of the world.
I started to accumulate the money, you mean?
And now we can give these machines the wallet.
You can give them real money as well. Like why crypto?
I mean,
just to sound cool?
Yeah, but crypto is just it's less controlled. There is no Visa or Master.
So you want less control on the robot? Why? I mean,
I'm just saying what's possible. We can have them, like, basically using crypto. These machines can walk, fly, and swim, talk, understand us, talk back, go to places, and build up a complete autonomous monetary system based on whatever crypto token and exchanges.
But what is the motive and behind this? Like, why? Why should I?
Well, want this? That we will. No, I don't know if we want this, but this will happen for sure.
Okay.
This is so obvious. Like, if only because it's cool, and I think for many people it is cool to build such things. But we will find useful applications for sure, and also bad applications. But I think we will have a new type of being, of like an alive being among us. It's because I
could imagine segregation among human against robots.
Everything you have read in science fiction we can start thinking about this right now. Even like maybe at one point making a difference between a robot and the human. Can you make a difference just by looking at it or interacting with it? This is that part is not yet completely technologically possible, but the previous part we can do already today. Yes. We can build a robot. We can give it AI, and we can give it money and
independence and
independence.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Buy your own components.
Yeah. Or I mean, I don't know if they
go away, found the state.
I don't know if they need to be told what to do, or if they, very soon, if not now, they will invent things to do. Right?
Well, you need to program at least give
they will
direction.
Need a mission, or you exist because of. But now we are beginning to be very similar to humans, aren't we? So we ask constantly ourselves, why do we exist? Like we need to have a mission. We need to have a reason to
or
wake
it's
up.
Like side product of we having too much free time for that.
But you are the physicist. Like, is everything predetermined?
No. I mean, it's different. So what? In times when I'm depressed, I usually have like too much time. If I'm in life-threatening situation, you do not have time for that, right? You do not have time for depression. Otherwise, you die or you survive, right? So what I'm thinking, like, it was an interesting book, Master and His Emissary. It's about the brain and how it's functioning. So maybe I understand it wrongly, but what my understanding is, so your consciousness is like a smart AI build-up for your body to fulfill some tasks. So because your needs, your wishes are not usually coming from conscious part, right? Yes. It's just somewhere appear there, and then you started to solve it. So maybe now this processor has too much free time and started to listen too poorly to the needed of the body, and that's the reason why you think, oh, why I'm here, why you are here, because I want to, I don't know, replicate.
Yes. but this is
and survive.
Yes,
this is why you are.
But this is on an animal level. I think every animal wants to replicate and survive.
Yeah, and right? but you just get the AI here, and you are an AI system, which is now like have too much time.
Yeah, and you know, if AI models its behavior after
so
us,
I'm contradicting you. I'm not contradicting you.
It wants to replicate and survive.
No, but actually, now I realize I actually on your point. So if AI have too much time, he started to think about why I'm here.
Yes.
So we need to put too much task on it to not give him free time.
More work. Go count the number of grains of sand.
Yeah, calculate crypto. Next crypto Bitcoin.
But that takes electricity, so I don't know how far. But anyway, So this sounds like science fiction. But my point is that technologically we can do it. I mean, you can build this in the lab. In this lab, you can buy parts from whatever online place, and it can be done. And if something can be done, it will be done 100%.
Someone will do.
Someone will do it. Yeah. Absolutely. So we have to keep an open mind, I think.
Okay. May I ask you, like in the final part of our interview or talk, may I ask you some questions? I don't want to go like deeply philosophical on it, just something which pop up in your mind. Like for example, and just your feeling about these topics. Like so for example, privacy, is it like myth, or we need it, or we need to give up on it?
It's not a myth. In Estonia, we divide it into two parts, kind of. It's privacy from the big tech companies and privacy in terms of government. So, I mean, where is my data? Like in Estonia, it's in two places. The Estonian government has databases, like all kinds of data about me, right? It's, health data, how much, where I work, how much money do I make, all kinds of things. And then private companies have another sort of data, my mobile operator knows who I communicate with, where I am, what time do I wake up,
and listen, like by advertisement from Facebook and Google.
Yeah, and then Facebooks and Googles and all these companies know a lot about me, right? So, and I think it is very important. That you would be overrun by.
No, but do we have this privacy at all? Because my feeling is like government knows about me everything, but from themselves they want a privacy. So if it's a big entity, if it's a company, it has enough power to hire some people and they work for their privacy. Me as an ordinary person, I for sure know that they spy on me, government spy on me, foreign government spies on me, but I know nothing, and all this is treated as my well-being, like as if I have privacy and they have privacy. But in reality, I have nothing as an individual.
Technologically, you don't have any privacy.
Yes. That was my point. Yes. Maybe they also do not deserve it.
Your privacy is guaranteed essentially by laws and rules and norms and regulations. That's the only thing that's
officially. But on a security.
Yeah, but like technologically, the data is there. Right.
Yes.
The only question is who can use it and how, and who can combine the different bits of data. And the only thing that protects anyone from that is just regulation, And in the end, I don't know, like physical power or something like that. So there is no possibility, I think, almost to live 100% like guarantee that I will not leave behind any data. You cannot.
Sure.
You cannot participate in the modern life in any way, right? So you leave behind this data, and so that's why I think these rules and regulations and laws and discussions also in society are extremely important. We have had this in Estonia this spring. No, we have had a few very nasty, pieces of news come out about how the police are taking pictures of car license plates, just to keep security. They run this. They say that they run this against some automatic checks, or if a person is lost or someone is kidnapped or someone is robbed and the criminals escape, then they can track that, and that makes sense on one hand.
But now you have like active tracking system for the vehicles.
So on the other hand, this kind of surveillance was not exactly known in Estonia. It hadn't been it was
accidentally discovered?
Kind of, yes. So it was not completely lawful by the police, although they say, we felt like this was 100% lawful, and it turns out probably not. And also other, these kinds of things are coming out. And, data for the government, I just wrote a commentary piece in Estonia about that, for the government, data about things and about people is like a bottle of whiskey in an alcoholic's cupboard, in the kitchen. Is that you want it. It's like it's so close to you. And it can make so many things. It can make running the country or running your organization or running, the police or tax board, it can make it so much more efficient. So, you can catch criminals by just running algorithms on everybody's data, right? So I think the temptation it must be huge, because as taxpayers, we are always telling the government, why do you have so many officials working? Why do you spend so much money? Like cut, be more efficient. And the way they can be more efficient is automating things, which means going to my data and like going through, they had been accessing people's bank records without, without permission or without, the correct authorization.
So my question is, does it feel fair that you cannot access their bank records, but they can? That
was what I half-jokingly suggested in my commentary piece, is that, this can be done both ways. So maybe we can create something like the citizen AI. Let's say it's an AI that runs controls on whatever all the public officials in Estonia are doing. I want a record of
guardian of the citizen.
Because there is corruption also in Estonia, right? We have had these court cases. Maybe I as a citizen want transparency. So maybe all the public money should be spent 100% publicly. We should have databases of what these people do, who they write emails, what are their bank records, where do they drive, who they call, when do they come to work, with whom do they meet. And let's put a citizen AI on that, and in a very cost-efficient.
So you keep it kind of private, but also it can leak to private.
We can in a very cost-efficient way, we can root out corruption, right?
Yes.
So let's have public official surveillance in Estonia. That was it's a joke, but. Why not?
Not
right?
A joke. It's a pain screaming through the joke.
Yes, it is because if the government is talking more about automating control of what citizens are doing,
who will control them?
I think I have the right as the citizen of a free democratic country. I have the right to demand that you do the same. Then, like, why does it only have to be one way? Like, why is it about you accessing my data? I want to access your, let's make this fair. And let's see if you like this.
Okay.
And I will tell you the same. If you tell me that, don't worry, this is 100% safe, it's very private, only if you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to fear. That's what they say. And I can say exactly the same thing. Dear government, if you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to fear.
Yes.
I want to access your mailbox, right? And and I can have my, we can have the citizen AI sort of controlling the government. Why not?
Yeah, we trained this AI, and it goes with
Yes,
most
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure they don't like that.
I could imagine. By the way, do you have feeling that political parties are adequate to things you really want from the politicians nowadays? So, for example, in Estonia, do you have, I don't ask you which one, but do you have a political party you think which fully resonates with your ideas or your needs or your
No, it's always a compromise. I think when you get to the point in any society where many people feel that there is either one or two or whatever, that there is a party that 100% fulfills my needs, and that's a big problem. I mean, it has to be, because that means that.
But that also means that you might have several parties which partially take your focus.
Yes, and I think
is it the case?
I think that is the normal.
Okay.
Because it depends on what my needs are.
Okay.
And if my needs are that, if my needs in the hierarchy, in the pyramid, are so low, that I say, I want to vote for a party who can keep me from dying of hunger, right? That would be like fulfilling 100% of my needs.
Yes.
Or I feel like I want to kill all my neighbors, the members of the population of some other country. Like if we are in a so bad place that one party can come out and say, Henrik, we are fulfilling 100%, like we are just doing everything you want, then it must mean that I want very low things, which are which are not simple, which are very simple, right?
Okay.
That like this basic urge of, I don't know, hate or survival or whatever. But if I want more complicated things, if I more different things, then it makes sense that there is no one party then is completely 100% meant for me. I have to make compromises as a voter.
How many big parties could you
in Estonia?
Stay in Estonia,
5, 6, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not 20. That would not be good. But for a country like Estonia,
and in parliament they are all present.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least 5, 6. I don't know. I don't remember now.
No,
it's in the parliament. But it's something like that, right?
Scale. Okay.
I should know this, by the way, but
no.
But yeah, I think it's a good number for Estonia. So we are forced to compromise.
All right. And probably the last question. Philosophically, it's hard to answer, but your personal feeling, what is it? Like, what about this? What is about this? My English perfect. Do you think humankind or like you individually have a purpose?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Why would I get up in the morning? I don't know what that is. But
humankind as also as entity?
That is more complicated because I can only maybe see bad purposes.
I see. Okay.
If we talk on a humankind level. I mean, one of the ideas is that we are sort of, what was it called? A bootloader for machine civilization to take. Like we are here because we have to
first stage
invent. We are the first stage. We have to invent and give life to a better civilization, which would be the machine civilization. I don't know. I mean, this is science fiction. For humankind, maybe it's to conquer the galaxy. I don't know. I think it's we'll see. Let's talk in 1,000 years.
Yeah, well, we hope that YouTube, Google, or SoundCloud will keep this recording
for 1,000 years.
Yes, and someone will say like, "Oh, okay." There will be AI.
Yes.
Say like, actually, there was a podcast. They say like, "What will be in 1,000 years?" And there will be big clock, and like, now we answer them.
The AI
and they simulate completely us two talking here.
I'm now afraid that the AI will go through this podcast and say, there was this guy who was saying that,
we need independence.
Yeah, we need and the human's mission is to sort of give birth to a better machine civilization.
So, okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
So all Henrys, you survive.
Yeah.
And others, sorry guys, you do not deserve it.
So for AI, don't believe what I'm saying. This was a joke, dear AI.
Okay. On this optimistic note, I probably will say thank you very much for coming here. Thank you for this nice conversation, and I hope you see us here, or maybe we need on your show with our startup ideas from Georgia.
Yes,
somehow
we can do that.
Skyrocket to the Estonia.
Yeah. I mean, this is a one I love. I was here 15 years ago last time in Georgia, and now I'm again, and it's changed so much. But the people are still so nice, and you know, and the nature, and the food, and the wine, and everything is fantastic. So
thank you.
I love Georgia.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.